All right, everybody. Welcome to another Two Dudes podcast. I'm Rick. That's Kevin. We got another one for you. Got a good one, Kev. What's going on?
Nothing much. I'm tripping. Why was I expecting you to say three dudes? I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
Not unless we got a ghost.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
All right, so let's
Past
get
2 days
started.
have been a day.
Yes, I don't even want to talk about last week. I'm moving forward.
All right, we ain't gonna discuss it.
But later on in the show, we will get to the NFL and free agency because my head is starting to spin.
As it should.
Yes. First up, this I want so bad to start off with the laugh of the day, but this is serious. Man sues Hurts over receipt that cleared him of murder. Problem is, a Michigan man spent nearly 5 years in the joint for failing to produce in a timely manner a receipt that would have proved his innocence long before he was convicted in 2011 of murder. So apparently, just long and short of it, he was trying to avoid a murder charge by showing where he was. Obviously, he had rented a car from Hertz and was somewhere else. They did not provide the documentation in time. So guess what happened?
He goes to jail.
He goes to jail. 5 years later, they're like, oh, is this what you need?
5 years later?
Yes, he's been in the joint for 5 years.
So,
it says here, the evidence from Hertz was finally obtained in 2018, leading to Herbert Alford's exoneration. He about to get paid, bro.
Not really. Because okay, my first question, he needed to sue his lawyer. Did you not subpoena this information? So that right there is my first problem. If your lawyer didn't subpoena for that, to where they had to do it ASAP, your lawyer needs to be fired, sued. Make that motherfucker go do 5 years in jail. See how he like.
Somebody needs something.
Yeah. But as far as him suing Hertz, unless they got some subpoena, they ignored it, ain't nothing gonna happen. It's gonna be his word against theirs. Unless he got something showing that we requested on this day and they didn't do it, he ain't nothing gonna happen. Sadly, he ain't gonna get paid because it's not like he got his conviction was by the state falsely or whatever. It was on him to produce what he needed. He didn't produce it.
You may be right.
Unfortunately, he lost 5 years and he about to have a hell of a time finding a job now.
That's true. Man.
I'll take it back. Exonerate, they're gonna take it off his record. But then he gotta explain where you been for 5 years, nigga.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard and embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out.
He's in a real pickle, shall we say.
He is. This breaks my heart. Oklahoma high school announcer hurls expletives, racial slurs when team kneels for national anthem. Don't know if you heard about this story, but an announcer was calling an Oklahoma girls high school basketball game on Thursday. This is last Thursday. And directed racial slurs and expletives at the team when players kneeled during the national anthem. The Norman High School girls basketball team took a knee in protest, which is something that's become normal nowadays. And what happened was the announcer who was calling the game for an online broadcast for the high school network, when he saw the protest, it says he took offense, started slamming the team, though he appeared not to know that his microphone was still on. And his exact words were, looks like, what did he say? They're kneeling. Effing niggers. I hope Norman gets their ass kicked. Fuck them. I hope they lose.
And clearly, he's from the Don Iman School of Broadcasting. And he at least respects them, then call them bald head hoes.
Oh, it gets better.
High school. You know.
He blamed it later on having a low blood sugar.
Yeah. I know people with diabetes. They ain't never got that disrespectful. So that right there was just horrible. Unless you're doing 3 shots of insulin with something else, I'm gonna go ahead and say you're a fucking lie. So let's just go ahead and label him a fucking lie. And, the Don Iman School of Broadcasting needs to be shut down because there's putting too many degenerates out there, too many bigots.
Yeah.
For
And
him
let's
to do
label
such
him
a thing
unemployed too.
and have such a lame response, that was just shockingly bad. What to say shockingly bad? I'm still in shock. I wish each one of the girls could just give him a swift kick in the ass, but we both know that's not possible, not gonna happen. I love the fact that they ended up winning the championship, and when it's all said and done, they should send him an autographed picture and put in signs. I hope your diabetes gets better. You know, they just need to do something just hella disrespectful to him the way he did to them, because that was a shocker. Them girls didn't deserve it. They didn't ask for it, but it just goes to show that motherfucker Trump, he got people just feeling like they just untouchable. Even though we done dealt with a lot of them, there's still a lot more left out there to be dealt with.
That's true.
Those are the motherfuckers need to be on the, instead of them talking about how we need to go get our own, no, we need to put all them motherfuckers on an island in the middle of nowhere by themselves and let them just have a Royal Rumble and kill each other. Be treated like Survivor. You know,
Hey,
every so
I'd
long
pay, put that on pay-per-view. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, it's treated like Survivor. Every 5 days we go drop a box of rice. Whoever's alive can eat. Whoever dead, hey, you missed out, Nick. Just they need to do something.
Now, racism is still everywhere. We talked about that last week. It gets better or worse in this case. The talk goes on a brief hiatus amid probe into heated debate involving Sharon Osbourne. All right. I saw this. You also sent it to me, so we knew this was going to be a hot topic. And I guess they canceled its live shows for this week, or at least yesterday and today. And they launched a probe because they're investigating, I guess, Holly Robinson Pete, who, damn, I forgot she was on that show a while back.
She was in the beginning, her and Leah Remy. They both should still be on there and all for real. They both got ran off the show.
Well, they claim that it was Sharon that got them ran off, and they claim that there was some underground racism going on in there.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
And it was all conveniently swept under the rug, I guess, until late last week when Sharon came out and she supported Piers Morgan, who, you know, talked shit about Meghan Markle and that situation. So all this came back to a head, and now CBS is investigating. So what I want to get is your take on this, and why the hell is CBS just now investigating this? It should have been investigated years ago when it first happened.
No, it shouldn't. Here's the thing you have to realize. When you have power, you don't get touched. When the show first started, Sharon Osbourne had power. She was untouchable. Holly Robinson, Leah Remy. Remember, Holly Robinson had no show or nothing. She was just the known black chick. You know what I'm saying? She was that black actress that she could start the show, but quickly get started, it ends. That's where she came in. Sharon Leah Remy, King of Queens, was on this downward spiral, so she didn't have any weight. Sharon was the big player between the three. So who you go keep? Two people that be nobodies, or the Wild Family that's on cable? You gonna keep the Wild Family that's on cable. So at that time, Sharon had power. Fast forward, I feel a little bad for Sharon because you got hit with a double. You got hit 2 ways: a good friend and your home. You know what I'm saying? Because even though Ozzy's wild as that and the third, I'm pretty sure they still looked up to the king and queen. That's where they from. So to see an attack on where you from, and it's by a nigga no less, you go feel some kind of way about it. Because let's be honest, how many blacks do you think she even grew up around before they came to the States? Probably little to exactly. So her learning blacks probably has been in the past 20 years, and they came on MTV back in the 90s, past 20, 30 years or whatever. So it ain't like she grew up with blacks. It ain't like she got enough to where she needs to respect them. She got enough to where she tolerates them.
Well, let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this.
All
right. She could probably hold her weight against Leah Remini or Holly Robinson Pete, but I bet you Cheryl Underwood ain't taking no shit.
But see, here's the thing with Cheryl Underwood. Cheryl Underwood, she's a comic. Most comics go play the dozen with you. They go toe to toe with you because that's the cloth they cut from. And at the same time, she's from a historic sorority. So, they all got their slave story. So she had all her Zeta Phi Betas probably in her back pocket, and they was charging her up. So therefore, it was like, you gonna say this? All right, well, I'm gonna say that. And they was just back and forth with each other, which I get it. I respect her for it. She stood up what she needed to stand up for. Is a Sharon, she got a feel on herself, and she didn't have nobody to tell her, hey, ignore this. This is what it's gonna be. This is the topic. I don't think she realized how personal something like that is, especially when you got black women on the set. So, if we're gonna lose respect from CBS stuff, let it have been shoe on the other foot. I think it's safe to say Cheryl Underwood would have got replaced and wouldn't have been no hiatus. She would have been done instantly.
Right.
So if they come back and Sharon's not gone like what happens on most shows, then I think the talks go crash and burn instantly, which I don't want them to because I hate the real and I don't want the real to get their spot.
All right. Let's take it from another angle. This story, Bruno Mars has to defend himself against cultural appropriation accusations.
Sound about right. That nigga be stealing. That sound about right.
But is it really cultural appropriations?
Yes,
it's not white.
That's the thing. People don't see him as black. They see him as Hawaiian.
He's a nigga from a different hood.
They see him as Hawaiian. So, or as Samoan, however you want to look at it. He's a miniature Samoan, which is very rare to find. He's actually an artifact. So, the thing about it is, best way to put it, America doesn't see him as white or black. They see him as Hawaiian or Samoan, one of those island-ass heritage, so how they see him. So, you come out, you make noise your first time, but you don't hit big until you go back into the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and you take what Teddy Riley did and you put it on steroids. Then all of a sudden you hit it big. That's why they're saying he's cultural appropriating, because you take away his last two CDs or whatever, take it back to his first one, he's a moderate, decent artist, make decent money.
Hey, that first one was fire too, though.
You said what?
I said that first one was fire too, though.
It was cool, but it wasn't like these last two to where it got that New Jack City swing.
Right.
That's all Teddy Riley and Guy. That's all. That's late 80s, early 90s. Every time he sing, I want to watch New Jack City. That's all that or whatever. So like this song you got with Anderson .Paak, it's almost like they've been getting on you about it. So let me bring somebody else into the fold to solidify it, to take so I don't get heat for it. So it's just, but a lot that's happening. A lot of people come to the industry are jacking an era and making it their own. I guess that's the name of the game now. I don't care for it. I don't agree with it, but that's how it's going down. So you just kind of got to sit back and watch it to see who's next to pull the same shit.
Hey, on the for real tip though, I do like that joint with Anderson .Paak, but
yeah, leave the door open as shit. That's a good throwback to like, I can see like that could have been something the Osley Brothers could have did, something that Blackstreet could have did. Bruno Mars is great at stealing an era and making it his own when it's all said and done. Of course, he got a legion of fans, don't want to hear it, but he is a thief. I've seen more originality out of a plagiarist than I've seen Bruno Mars.
But let me ask you this. Out of the last, I'll just say 5 years, who hasn't stolen something? Because everything's already been done.
Incorrect. Everything hasn't been done. Here's the thing. You can still maybe a song, because Mary used to redo songs and she would kill it. But the thing is, Mary still had her own style, her own way, her own essence. Name what's original about Bruno Mars.
But you just mentioned Mary. I said in the last 5 years. Mary been around for 20.
No, but I'm just saying, just in general. Just in the last 5, I mean, music really been dead the past couple years. You want to be honest about it.
Exactly.
But like, if you, this damn last time I get on my damn nerves, all these advertisements. If you just look at what's going on, there's not much. There's originality, but everybody may be using something to get into the game. The point I'm making is just you use something to get you in, then you'll be yourself. I don't think we've seen who Bruno really is. He can sing his ass off. He can put on the show a performance. But at the same time, people don't realize in Hawaii, he made money being an MJ impressionist. So it's like he took that and made that his career, but he's still in different eras or whatever. Like I said, right now, he on that New Jack City swing hard. Because that 24 karat magic, whatever it was, that was all Teddy Riley. I hope he gave Teddy Riley a check for that. If not, he hella disrespect.
True. I mean, I feel like out of any artist out there, not just pointing to him, but any artist out there right now, we should be seeing the tip top in creativity because we're in the pandemic era right now. You can't get out there and tour. So you need to be putting out some good music and or some good videos, something to put yourself out there.
I got to disagree with that because the pandemic can't stifle creativity because you can't go or do anything. A lot of people have to have experiences for creativity. If I'm locked in these 4 walls, what am I experiencing? Nothing. So therefore, I have nothing to write or sing or talk about because it's nothing worth talking about.
I disagree. You're a grown man. You know about heartache. You know about joy. You can sing about that.
But you're not experiencing that if you're in the house. If
but
you're in
you
the
have
house, you're
experienced it already. You've already experienced it. You there. You've been there. You've grown.
Most people work off experiences that are happening or they've been through, not something that's already happened.
Then so sing about being lonely.
Then
sing about being lonely. You trapped in your house. I mean,
who wants to hear that?
I mean,
when I'm experiencing the same thing.
I can't get that as an excuse because I sit down and I do artwork every day. I do photography all the time. I can't use the pandemic as an excuse because it ain't. I mean, I got to get out here and do my thing.
But for most, they need to experience in order to create. And the pandemic done killed a lot of experience because you can't go nowhere. You got to sit your ass down. Not everybody's gonna pull a Kev on stage and be like, "Hey, you can't come to me. I'm gonna bring you to me." But even with his keep your distance comedy, brilliant. Did that shit for almost a year, but now the world's opening back up. He's like, "Well, I gotta put it to an end on this date because the world's opening, and I ain't gonna be able to get people to want to keep doing the show here because everybody feel like they got to go out." So it's just, you got to have experience doing things. Like, if you look at a lot of comedians, they're doing the same set in a different way about the pandemic. Everybody's had the same experience. No one's experiencing anything else. And to me, it's kind of all just smushed together. So I'm just like, can you give me something else? Give me something else to work with.
Yeah. All right. On a different note, let's talk about your boy, Robert Percy Miller, aka Master P. Master P is on a mission to buy his own HBCU. First of all, props to him, whether he actually, fulfills this or not. I like the fact that he's going for it. I like the fact that he's putting his money and his time into educating young black people. And, you know, you can't say anything bad about that whatsoever. I like what he's doing. I really hope that he sees this all the way through. What you think?
He's not. I've come to learn following him when I used to, you know, be a big fan of music or someone say something. Master P is a great businessman, but he's a better fire starter. What I mean by that is a lot of stuff he does or he's trying to do catch people off guard and shocks people, gets people to talk. And as the talk gets to going, that's when he slides out the back door and goes to the next thing, which is a good thing. Because one, you ain't spending your money. You probably making money because people go fuck with your products because of that. But then someone else will take your lead and do what you put out there. Because when I saw that, if I didn't want to buy HBCU, it made me think, who really owns any of these fucking schools?
It's a good.
And then
good
also
point.
it made me think, instead of say I was a millionaire, I'm a big star, big DJ or whatever, and I'm making millions. Instead of me cutting a check, why not buy the university and take it over and run it how it should be ran? Make sure everything's how it's supposed to be. That'd be a great return on investment. But the thing is, who owns these damn schools? We really don't know. So what he said was ingenious, but who's like everybody's on, you know, black. Okay. Diddy, you worth over $500 million. I'm pretty sure you could buy Tuskegee, you know what I'm saying? Or you could go get Savannah State.
Yeah.
If you need to, change it to Puffy State. I don't give a fuck. Go buy it, fix it, and then, you know, you ain't got to own it. You can give it to somebody else to where they run it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what he said was ingenious. We really need to think about it because that could save black college. Because you got somebody that's hands-on, want to save it. We can find out why government stopped taking all these fundings from them, and we can get them off of government funding. That's what they talking about. We need to create our own, that and the third. What's created is already there. We need to fix the creation. All these celebrities got all this $100 million, like Shaq and all them, get all this money. Stop having all these fucking kids and buy a damn school. Or create a school that's not a fucking bullshit ass charter school. Let's be real. All these charter schools are fucking bullshit when it's all said and done. You putting your name on something, you getting an educator to say you this, that, and the third. At some point, you go fade out. Because I would love to follow one of these LeBron James kids that's supposed to get scholarships between now and like 2040. Is that really going to happen? Probably the fuck not, but it sounds good right now. Buy a university, get involved in that motherfucker, get your hands dirty, and then everybody come together to where, what are you doing? You taking care of your people. You taking care of the next generation. You're educating us. You're making us smarter. And therefore, then we can take over the fucking world. Instead of, let's all pack up our bags, go over here and get land to ourselves. Fuck that. Work with what's there. But, you know, we ain't going to think like that. People going to look at me, that nigga P trick. It's a good idea, but it costs too much to buy a school. You don't know unless you look into it. If I had the money, I'd buy Gremlin right now and fix that motherfucker up. Might change the name, but still, I'd buy it fixed up and
What
make
would
it
you-
to what it.
What would you change the name to?
I don't know yet. You know, I might relocate that bitch to Kansas City, but hey, pick up the whole university. Bring it up here. Fuck Louisiana. They've been disrespected. So, but I would do something.
Well said. So check it out. I have not heard this yet. I don't know if you found it or not, but you sent me the story on Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
And his phone call to his son. And he came out later and apologized after his son had put it out on social media.
Yeah.
And I guess, have you heard it?
I've heard it. I heard fragments of it. Basically, he was talking to his son. Son came at him sideways. Now, mind you, when I first heard it, I was like, man, Kirk tripped. The Kirk's tripped. Then I found out his son was 32 years old. I said, oh, Kirk ain't did shit wrong. His son need his fucking bell rung. But apparently, the son was mad about something, and he called Kirk to fuck with him. I guess he found out his sister is still on payroll. If she's on payroll, that means she's working. She's earning hers. And the sister was like, my brother had several times, and he wouldn't do right, so my dad took him off payroll. Hey, nigga, that's a job. You don't do what you're supposed to do. Deuces, get up out of here. And so I guess he felt some kind of way, called Kurt, then let Kurt know that he was being recorded, and they've had a fucked up relationship to begin with, and he got to talking greasy to his daddy. And Kurt was like, oh, nigga, you forgot I'm from Waco, Texas. I'm about to remind you. Told that motherfucker I will smash your motherfucking throat the next time I see you if you keep fucking disrespecting me like this. Now, smash your motherfucking throat, you gotta be pretty damn strong and pretty damn pissed off. That's a hard thing to do. But to put those words together, like this comedian said, I was impressed at the level of consistency that Kirk Franklin cussed, and it sounded good. It wasn't nothing that was like, come on now, Kirk, you was reaching on that one. The shit sounded good. Hey, I applaud Kirk Franklin. He sounded damn good. That link I sent you, if you scroll through it's sort of like the bottom, I think, or whatever. Some of it, well, what you can hear. Because and the one I give Kirk credit. When he realized that he was going there, he hung up. His son was like, did he hang up? Did he hang up? Yeah, he hung up.
Okay, now here's where I have a problem with this. I agree with you. First of all, this isn't a 13, 14, or 15-year-old child. This is a 32-year-old man. You can call him your son. Yeah, that's your son. Great. But he a grown-ass man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I get to the problem. If it's recorded, he knew that he was going to act out. He knew that he was going to try to catch him doing it.
He did it purposely.
Yeah. So what does that tell you about him? First of all, I'd want to put my foot on his throat.
Yeah. But see, what he failed to realize, though, is his father's been in the game a long time. His father's a professional. So what did he do? He went ahead and called their therapist. The therapist and Kirk called his son. Son wouldn't answer. Kirk did an apology video immediately, letting everybody know. Me and my son had a tumultuous relationship, and we've never really gotten along for whatever reason. And when all that happened, I did hang up. I did lose my cool. I apologize for the language that I used. Me and our therapist, we called him. He didn't answer. So right there, he put you on blast. And all every black parent has said is, I don't blame Kirk. For you to say, call the police, talking about you're scared to go home, so your 32-year-old ass still live at home. Get the fuck out
of here. Yeah, that don't hold much weight. Hell. It really don't.
So my daughter, she was like, being 15 and 13, get the hell out of my house, and they was talking crazy. And this motherfucker 32, he want his ass kicked.
And I understand that Kirk is in the spotlight, and he is a professional, and he does have to maintain professional credibility, we'll call it. And because Kirk is known for being a gospel singer, let's not make the mistake of forgetting that he is a dad and he is a man. And let me quote some of the biblical people out there. God, it is not a sin to be angry. Wrath is a sin. What you do with that anger is the sin. So he can cuss his son out day and night. If he hasn't physically done anything to him, he ain't no worse than any other man out there. And if my 32-year-old son wants to act a fool, he got it coming too.
Yeah. Now the mistake you made though is you called him a gospel singer. He's more like a gospel hype man, so that he was disrespectful to the singers out there.
I apologize.
Famous or not, I can give a fuck. My child get out of line, I'm putting them back in motherfucking line, putting them back in place. I can give a fuck, and I like the fact that Kirk let that shit fly. Because at the same time, who thinks your son's gonna record that? They'll let you know he was on some devious shit anyway. Right. To record that and put it out there, so that was some old devious type shit. But I'm glad he let it go. Then he got his mop out, mopped up the mess to let him know. And we don't know what happened to the son. We're going to assume he's still breathing.
All right. Let's lighten things up for the second half of this show. Let's talk some sports. Well, I guess this ain't going to be too light starting off. Let's talk about this Patrick Ewing situation. Man. I guess Charles Oakley had said that, those problems that he has with Madison Square Garden, he said that they offered you a D-League job. There's no respect behind your name. I kind of agree with Charles Oakley.
Ironically, before we started this Zoom, I was watching Ewing's interview on First Take, and Patrick said it best. I don't know why there's a stigma that big men can't coach nothing but big men. He's like, I've been an assistant in the NBA for 15 years, and I don't know why I can never be seriously considered as a head coach. And he's just like, I thank John Thompson. He said, Coach Thompson told me, hey, holler at Georgetown, see if you can be the next head coach. He's like, Coach Thompson, the reason why I am where I am. And that's why I kind of love the fact that I done brought them back to prominence to where we just won the Big East championship. Ironically, on the 49th year anniversary or 41st year anniversary of when Georgetown hired John Thompson. Ironic as hell. But, Oakley was right. They gave you an offer to coach the D-League team. John Starks took that job for somebody else. But John Starks ain't been an assistant coach all over the league like Patrick's been. So that was beneath him to offer him that. But at the same time, that's one of those to where, like Patrick said, you could be a point guard if you're a well-known guard. For some reason, they think you can coach and automatically give you a 5-year, $20 million deal or 5-year, $25 million deal. They're like, just because they was a point guard and at that time they may have known the game for that offense doesn't mean they know the game overall. So it's just, unfortunately, it's a horrible stigmatism that's out there in the league to where centers can't coach. Just like in the NFL, blacks can't play QB. So it's just one of the things to where you hope one day or at some point that stereotype dies, but as of right now, it still exists. And that's one of the reasons why you got Juwan Howard at Michigan being the head coach. But what position Juwan Howard play? Center. What did he do for Miami? Assistant coach. He was a player assistant coach for the longest. And when it came time, Jobs was at the third, he interviewed everybody too, didn't get it. Where'd he end up? Back in Michigan. So it's just one of the things to where, and now he won the Big Ten. His team is number one in the playoff, in the tournament. So it's kind of like both of them are killing it. Everybody gonna want them to coach now. I hope they both turn their back on the NBA and be like, fuck it, I'm staying in the college realm. Because they don't deserve them after disrespecting them like that.
I agree. Let me go back to what you said about Starks. And I understand Starks took the job, but Starks took the job because, let's face it, he's John Starks. And I know you're a Knicks fan, but you got John Starks, you got Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing is a name in New York. John Starks had a few good years in New York. Ewing he was the face of that franchise. So yeah, I wouldn't coach the D League either.
Yeah, I agree. There's, he was with Charlotte for about 5 years. I don't know why Jordan never gave him a shot at being a head coach. And that's his boy. You know what I'm saying? So then, like, he was with Orlando. There's a reason Orlando shouldn't have gave him a shot. But, it's just that stigmatism of you a center, you can't coach, which is just silly as hell. But that's the mindset. So hopefully he kills it at Georgetown. He stays there. I got him going far in the tournament somewhat. I got Michigan winning the tournament. If Michigan win the tournament, man, they're going to be all over Juwan Howard. And I hope he stays and doesn't go anywhere. Let them boosters give some more money up front under the table and just say, fuck the NBA is how I look at it.
All right, let's go to the NFL. Free agency, free agency, free agency.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the homeless man, better known as Bill Belichick, is spending money like he owns it. When I sent this to you yesterday, they were at 146 million in the first 3 hours of free agency, and they still going. He's trying to buy another Super Bowl.
In some regards, but Bill, I think for Bill, it's the aspect of Tom needed me, I didn't need Tom. So Tom went, got a Super Bowl, but he got a Super Bowl with an asterisk. Ain't nobody gonna confess it, but Tom wasn't Tom when he won the Super Bowl. He wasn't the Tom he was in New England. But at the same time, Father Tom is catching up with Tom. Belichick made sure they had the worst season possible. With some players opting out, this and the third, that just that helped the process of them having a bad season. So what does he do now? Hey, let's get the band back together. Cam, 1 year, 15 mil. You damn near double Cam's salary from last year. That lets you know Cam can play better. You give him a couple receivers to throw to. Take one from Oakland who had a damn good year. I wouldn't have let him go. Let him come. He's going to make Cam look better. Get some more defenders. Then what surprised me, though, you let us take your best offensive tackle. We'll be like top 3 in free agents. I was surprised by. So I think they either got somebody in the wing or at the same time, Belichick only pays certain players.
That's what I was about to say, because we'll get to Joe Tooney in a minute. But yeah, back to the Patriots.
It's one of those things to where he's gotten skilled player we need on defense. He's gotten some on offense. And go back to when it was Hernandez and Gronk, you couldn't stop him. Now they got he got the top 2 tight ends in free agents. That's about to be ugly. Because Cam, what did Cam do that he was a killer at? His tight end when he was in Carolina,
Greg Olsen.
He made Greg Olsen. If Greg Olsen says different, burn all his stats up. Greg Olsen ain't been nothing since he left Cam. So I think, didn't he retire? If I'm not mistaken.
I thought he did, but I'm not sure.
Or he may have went to Chicago where there's no quarterback. One of the two. But
that's just like retirement.
Yeah, exactly. Cam made Greg. He about to kill these 2 tight ends he got. Because that's his go-to. Then when he can't hit them, he'll hit Aguilar. And Aguilar showed last season, he'll go up to make that catch. Aguilar made Wentz what he was, and he helped make Derek Carr what he was. Hope you haven't got the motherfucking name right. So,
well, first of all, Derek Carr already had a couple years of those same stats the previous 2 years, so I don't want to hear that mess.
Derek Carr didn't go deep to Aguilar got there on the consistent. Let's be truthful.
Let's be truthful. They didn't have a deep threat until Aguilar got there.
That still, I'm saying he wouldn't go past 15 yards. Aguilar got there. Oh, I can go further now. Look at this, mommy. So let's shut the plug and be truthful. Aguilar got there. Carr got deep. You can't tell me Carr ain't pissed that his deep threat is gone. I'm pissed.
I agree with you. That's just like taking the cheetah off of the Chiefs.
Yeah, that would be just crazy. It's like right now, Tim gonna say that we should have got one of those tight ends. Why? They're not backup tight ends, and we're paying Travis a nice amount of money.
Now y'all gonna draft the tight end.
Eagles, no, you think Travis gonna keep? Yes, Travis got a good 4 more seasons before we see a decline.
I say 3, but okay.
Not 4, and barring any major injury, because what people fail to realize, yeah, he gets open, but every receiver is a spot that you have to get to. It's a zone you have to get to for the pass. So it's not about having the greatest route running skills. It's just the timing, because you're in your head, I got 10 seconds to get to this spot to the left or go deep to that in the third. It's all about timing, because they go run rub patterns and shit like that. And unless he gets a major injury, his numbers going to keep going. He's going to stay between, I say, 85 and 100 catches the next 3 to 4 years. He's going to stay between that. He's going to have over 1,000 yards. His touchdowns will go up and down like his catches, but he's going to stay consistent. And that's what people fail to realize. Like, he was our first 100-catch player since Gonzalez? Cheetah that had all these yards. People don't realize he had 100 catches. I think the most he done had maybe is 90. I don't think he's had a 100-catch season yet.
Right.
But you know what we go crazy about? That'll be real. It's not all about the 100 catches. It's about your yards, your total, what you do. And he can still be effective. He's going to keep being effective until he gets a major injury. That's when players fall off.
Let me back up. Let me back up to that. People say it's not about the 100 catches. I disagree with them, because here's the thing. If you are making 100 catches, apparently you out there doing something. And apparently you are a threat. If you are getting 100 catches, you are a threat.
No, here's the point I'm making on that. You can be effective without 100 catches.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Because, matter of fact, it was Galladay, I think, that got released from Detroit. He had, because they were saying that he may come. No, T.Y. Hilton. They said Kansas City may be interested in T.Y. Hilton. Me personally, I don't want 2 short, fast-ass receivers. But at the same time, him and Tyreek, they burners. Here's the thing. One of the things that killed us is Sammy couldn't get over his hamstring problem. Sammy's probably going to retire in a year or 2. So he was an eyesore. And Meacham, so the last year rookie, he couldn't get his head in the game this season, whatever reason. I think he was still on that Super Bowl hangover. T.Y. Hilton still had like 65, 70 catches, over 1,000 yards. You put that in our offense, how much more deadly will we be?
I agree, but at the same time, you walking on eggshells with T.Y. Hilton because he doesn't stay healthy.
No, but point I'm making is not 100 catches, but you can't tell me that 70 ain't effective.
Oh, it's very effective. Very effective.
If we could have got half that out of Watkins and the rest out of the fourth receiver, how much more effective would things have been?
Hell, did you get 50 out of Watkins this year?
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm just like, you don't have to have 100 to be effective. You can do it in what you're getting. You just got to be effective. And that's why I was telling Tim, Travis may decline, because he talking about Travis and got a step slower. I can't tell. Travis never was fast to begin with. That's the first mistake you make. As long as he can make a catch, run over a player or 2, and jump when he wants to, he's going to keep being effective. But he can be effective without 100 catches.
Even let's say he has lost a step. Let's say he has.
Yeah.
He's still big.
Thank you.
He still gets open.
Thank you. Because he knows where the spot is. And let's give him his props. If he was a point guard on the court, he breaks a lot of fucking ankles when motherfuckers try to hold him. We've seen highlights where he goes to the left and the linebacker going to hit that quick right. The linebacker still going to the left. Like, oh shit. So let's not act like he can't break coverage. Which everybody be on that mad mindset of you gotta say 99 with the stand them all and the accurate, all that bullshit.
All right, now that I gave the Chiefs their props, I'm about to take all that shit away. Let's go back to that outside linebacker, Joe Tooney. 5 years, $80 million.
Yes.
Two things. First of all, that's why he's not a Patriot. He wanted that payday, and Bill Belichick will not pay you. He will not.
No, he's not going to. But I already got a rebuttal for what you're going to say. You're going to hate it. Well, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, is he worth it?
Yeah, he's one of the best tackles in the game. We need that with Schwartz retiring. Fisher, he's done as far as with us, unless he wants to come back for the dirt. And, we got the doctor saving the world coming back, But it's like we need probably one more lineman. I think we're good. But here's the thing where Brett Veach is such a great GM. Dude signed for 5 years, $80 million. Signing bonus, I believe it was like $21 million. Guess how much we're paying him for his first season?
How much?
$900,000.
All right, I take it back. I have to give Chiefs their props one more time. Brett Veach in particular. That man can turn $1.25 into $80 million.
Here's another thing. Guess how much he gets paid second season?
Probably damn near close to that.
No, he's getting more than that. Only $14 million. Only 14 and a half. So he's not, his cap hit is never big.
So they backloaded his contract.
So
in that fifth year, they can cut him.
No, not in the fifth year. He's guaranteed like 40 mil. He's getting 21,000, puts it to 22.7. He gets 14.5 the second year. His guaranteed money's paid in 2 seasons. We can cut him third year if we need to.
Damn.
Because what we'll do third year, hey, let's restructure the rest of your money. Tyreek, you still up there trying to give you another payday? Let's give you a little something. Travis, you still got 2 more years. You're good. It's designed for everybody to stay together. Mahomes, you still good.
Let me ask you this. How long can Veach continue to do this?
It's all about the willingness of the team. If the team keeps drinking what Andy's pouring, he can keep doing it. All about the willingness of the team. Because our boy, I always forget his fuck McAfee. He was talking to Travis yesterday. And he's like, I heard you restructured. Travis was like, my contract was already set to do what they needed to do. So as far as I'm concerned, I haven't restructured anything. But reports was him and Chris Jones had restructured, put money out there. The next one is going to restructure is going to be Honey back. So he can stay a little bit longer too. As long as we keep doing what we're doing, they're going to keep doing what they're doing so they can get theirs.
Well, let me tell you why I asked you this. There was this one little team from San Francisco who pulled this several years back. And the reason why I asked you how long can he do this, because it did eventually catch up with the 49ers.
Oh, it's going to catch up. The way I look at it like this, we're actually, hold on one second, make sure this ain't important. We're literally following the New England way just with salary. Because Belichick paid, he just didn't pay everybody. And you saw how they had a good, 7-8 year run to where they was dominant. Then that's when it became the chutes and ladders up and down. We're following that map of how to do it. Only thing is, Lord willing, we may win more rings than they did in the first 8 years. Because I think all said and done, I give us 4 rings, maybe 5. But I'm looking at 4. I'm looking at 4 primarily. I can see that happen because right now, let's be truthful. Who in the AFC gonna stop us right now?
Let's be truthful. Get to number 2 first. Before you say 4 or 5, get to number 2. And we had this conversation almost a year to the day because we coming up on our 1-year anniversary. Because one of the first topics we talked about, you was kind of hot at what's his name? Dude, I think he was on Fox Sports. God, I forget his name. Him and Acho. Dang, I can't remember his name right now, but you was mad at them because they were saying the Chiefs will not repeat because it's too hard. And I'm like, bro,
Keyshawn.
it is hard.
Keyshawn said this shit on no. Keyshawn said it this year after the last Super Bowl.
No, this was before Keyshawn though. This was it? I want to. No, it wasn't Sterling Sharp. God, who was it?
They was on Fox.
Maybe it was ESPN.
I don't know. Whoever it was, they was a dumbass.
But they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
We made it to the. But I think the way they said it is like we wasn't going to the Super Bowl ever again. But it's one of the things where if everything lines up, because shit got to line. Let's be honest, shit got to line up. Last year, everything lined up to where we wanted to. We could have did the 72 Dolphins, but pandemic hit us at the wrong time. Motherfucking Super Bowl, that's when shit fell apart. When Fisher went down, I got worried, but I wasn't gonna say it out loud. That's when I learned that our offensive line was thin, and there wasn't enough time to get nobody else in there.
I know, but you don't want to hear this. But we need to focus on the truth. I'm gonna tell you about 3 teams, and I'm not saying any of those 3 teams are challenging the Chiefs, but they all have 3 different styles of blueprints to beat the Chiefs. I'm gonna start with the Bucs because they're the most recent. They did it with a dominant defense. Now
we're fixing the Bucs.
Who's to say in a rematch it won't be different because y'all won against them?
I got feeling it's gonna be a rematch. I told you it's all about the changing of the guards. It's gonna be a rematch. We're gonna win. Then Brady's gonna go off into the sunset. I don't see because the thing is, I think in Brady's mind, he had to outlast Peyton, Phillips, Drew. He had to outlast all those quarterbacks in his era. He's the last one left. Who was left when he came into the game? I
agree. All right, team number 2, the Buffalo Bills. This team
is still too young.
They're getting better every year, though. They're getting better every year.
The thing with Buffalo, one, they got to control their attitude, their temper, just like with Miami.
Right.
Miami should have never let Fitzmagic go. But at the same time, I give Fitzmagic all the props in the world. That season you had gave you a $3 million raise to go to Washington. 1 year, $10 million. It could be 12 with incentive. Props to Fitzmagic because that one season gave him a $3 million raise. I'm happy for him. Washington should have never let his ass go. Miami, they tripped on that. That quarterback has learned to control his emotion before they can do anything. Because when we played him in that Miami game, he was too all over the place with his emotion and just down there on the sideline crying like he fucking Elvis Gerback in Baltimore.
All right. 3rd team.
I'll say the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to say it because who else beat y'all?
Y'all did.
Let's be real.
No,
let me finish. We have an offense that can match your offense. We don't have a defense that can match your defense.
Y'all need to replace Aguilar. That hurt y'all. Y'all need to replace him because Winfrey, whatever his name is, he don't stay healthy. Your tight end's legit.
But let's face it. In that game that we beat y'all, Aguilar only had 2 catches.
Aguilar was a deep threat, though.
But the deep threat in that game was Ruggs.
Is Ruggs even on the team still? Because I don't recall him in the second game.
That's the thing. Y'all matched up with him. But our tight end stepped his game up, and we ended up taking the lead with a minute and something to go.
So here's the thing about that.
Let us down.
Your tight end won't have that option next season. Our running back's coming back from hiatus. If we would have had him, that would have changed the trajectory in that game because we'd have run the ball more when all that trick play bullshit. And in the Tampa game, he knows the blocking scheme better than any of our other running backs. So, yeah, they still would have been doing what they were doing defensively, but our blocking would have been better. Him coming back is huge because you know how important a running back is to block. And that's one thing I'll get with the Chiefs when it comes to coaches and everything. A lot of the coaches always been across the board and have said, if you can't pick up the blocking scheme, you not go play. So I can appreciate that now. So Oakland's always gonna be a dogfight. But here's the thing with y'all. I think y'all done let the Chargers jump over y'all with the moves they've made. They didn't tighten up their line. They didn't tighten up their defense a little bit. So y'all looking over them because they was only 7-9. They was right there. But I do think them letting that tight end go is gonna hurt them because when's the last time Keenan Allen has been reliable to stay healthy in consecutive seasons?
He can't.
Exactly. So I think they dropped the ball on that. But them getting that lineman, that helps that quarterback's blind side. So I think the AFC gonna be a 3-team race because Denver, Von Miller's about to get let go. They claim they might make a play at Watson or
hold on. They still play football in Denver?
I think it might be patty cake. I really don't know.
Oh, okay.
Patty cake, you know. But
all right.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you.
I was gonna say, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know Peyton Manning still lives in Denver. I was reading a report yesterday that says that Peyton Manning is slowly, quietly getting a team together that may buy the Broncos. So if you see Peyton all of a sudden take a job with the Broncos, he's working his way to buying the Broncos. They said that Peyton Manning has made people forget John Elway.
I agree with that. Which quarterback won most recently there?
You know how bad his ego would take a hit if Peyton just did? That means this motherfucker's the man in two cities that you can't deny him.
Think about it, though. Ever since Peyton retired, what has Elway done as far as getting him a quarterback?
Elway, he's responsible for 3 rings. That's it.
Yeah.
And that 3rd ring was, he put the team together. So he did what he was supposed to do. But I put it like this. He ain't flipping coins like Beach is.
Nah.
I heard Beach is banned from Vegas because how he do money. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna need Beach to help me do my finances for real.
I need him to do my taxes.
Exactly. Hey, Brett, can you turn this $1.25 into $60 million for me?
I think Beach wrote that movie 21. Have you seen that before with Kevin Spacey and the kids?
I have not seen that.
Bro, I'm gonna find out the actual name. I'm gonna send it to you. This is a dope ass movie. You need to see it. It was a dope ass movie.
Before we go, it's probably gonna be a little over a week before it debuts on my other show, Rewind, Relive, and Review. But this weekend, I got a chance to watch Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen. Watched all 3.
Was Olympus any good though? Or do I gotta wait and watch to find out?
You mean Angel?
Whatever the last one was it any good?
It was the best one.
Really? And which one was that called again?
Angel Has Fallen.
Really?
Morgan Freeman is now the president instead of the vice president.
That old nigga.
Yep.
Hey, I guess I get it somehow.
Yeah, and what makes it so good, not just that, Morgan Freeman, aka God, is going around telling everybody what to do. Nick Nolte is playing Gerard Butler's father. And he is off the chain crazy in this movie.
Nick Nolte?
It makes the movie.
Wow. I'm really outdone about that. I thought Nick Nolte was somewhere dead in National Treasure.
he kind of looked like he was just propped up dead at the beginning of the movie, all that wild hair and that long beard. But hey,
He was
props to
gone in
Nick.
60 seconds.
Props to Nick. But yeah, you'll hear more about that soon. All right, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No, nothing is on the top of my head. Nothing I can actually think of.
Now, keep in mind, this is number 50 for us. Big 5-0.
I realize it's number 50.
Yeah,
I've been a little bit more ignorant.
We making moves. It's almost been a year.
Yeah. Props to that. Props to us. I would just say if people, like, subscribe, and some other shit like that, and send an email, a call, or whatever Richard be saying. I almost had it down. I was almost there.
Almost. Yeah.
If y'all get y'all checks, spend them wisely. Don't just be so quick to give the money back. Give it back in a smart way, not a dumb way. Like the joke I saw pulling up to McDonald's. And let me get a Oreo McFlurry. The machine's down. Oh, bitch, I just got my money. How much it costs to fix that motherfucker?
I don't want to flurry that bad.
You walk in. The tap is broke. I'm going to go ahead and fix it around for everybody. Fuck that. Spend your money wisely, people. They already trying to count us out as it is. Be smart about it. Don't be dumb about it. Tearful moment I'll share. Then I'll shut it down. I know you got to get back. Saturday, my daughter's first soccer game, freshman. She came a long way from kindergarten to freshman. Then changed through the years and everything. Great player. Coached by dads. Coached by two other, dads, this, that, and the third or whatever. Last coach was more of a professional player, so he kind of, got in there a little bit. Bro, walking over in Grandview, walking to the field, they didn't redid that shit all nice and everything. It's raining. They got to deal with the elements. I had to stop and shed a tear when I saw my daughter running on the field starting as a freshman. They only got one team, so it's not a JV or freshman. They just got one team.
Yeah.
But 19 girls, and I know like 11 hit the field or whatever. But out of 19, to see her starting as a freshman and the coach telling her she gonna play about 30 minutes, that was a proud moment in my eyes because we don't know shit about a sport and you coach and you learn as you go. And I was her first coach for like the first 5 years. Then, you hand her off to a 6th grade rec coach, and then she's playing 7th grade rec with a different coach, and she's playing for the middle school. So that's 3 other coaches you have, but that rec coach knows what he's doing, but you still gotta feel good because you see different things that you taught her. But when you go to high school, it's a whole nother level, a whole nother aspect. And to see her starting, I had to take a minute and wipe that tear. I was like, man, this is unreal. I didn't see it coming. So it was a very proud moment for him. And
congratulations to her. Props.
And they beat the shit out of Grandview 6-0. So I really enjoyed that shit getting wet. But then it's crazy. All that paperwork she told me had to fill out the shit we went through. Motherfuckers got Adidas sponsoring. She came out with a new book bag and uniform and all this shit brand new. I was like, where the fuck this come from? Oh, that's all ours. That's what the coach gave us, a bag full of stuff. And I was like, if the wrong person here that they would think you done took a kick down. But I was like, oh, Adidas is y'all sponsor. And, being 15, she ain't knowing. But yeah, I guess. I was like, I got so much to teach you. But yeah, nigga, Adidas is a sponsor. I'm just mad at Adidas and give them no cleats or nothing. That'd have been nice. I ain't got to go buy nothing. Shit. But no, it was a dope experience. And you learning how real shit is to where spring break, unfortunately, I'm not able to go anywhere. Man, she got practice Monday through Friday from 9 to 10:30. I'm like, what the fuck? What? This is spring break, nigga. Coaches don't give a fuck. They practice. I was like, this is definitely an experience. So when your little one, I hope he plays sport. Because if your ass, you really gonna be old. I want you to go through this shit I'm going through.
Well, I'll see what happens when that happens. All right, that's all the time we got for today. Kev, appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
everybody, like you said, like, share, subscribe, email us, all that. And we will be back again next week. And go on ahead and take us home, Kevin, since Brett Veach is the juggling financial motley fool. You can go ahead and use your usual catchphrase.
I ain't gonna do it. Football season dead. What I will say is, next week we gonna talk boxing. We gonna talk about
Oh, real quick, rest in peace, marvelous Marvin Hagler, man.
Yes, the meanest, nicest foreign talking nigga you ever meet. Hey, he whooped Sugar Ray's ass a couple of times. Sugar still getting hit. He the reason why Sugar got a fade, got rid of that curl. He knocked the juice out that nigga, literally. And now I want some churches. Thinking about when they had that churches sponsorship. Some good strawberry pop. Go to the one off of Indiana. Can't go wrong. That being said, I'm gonna try to get our two favorites, Tony and Nelson, on next week to talk boxing, because we just had the foreign nigga, the one that beat up Deontay Wilder. Apparently, him and the other heavyweight done signed two. Basically, they signed up for 2 fights. We're gonna discuss if anybody really gives a shit, because boxing is about as lively as my musical career. So we're gonna see about that. Sum it up. Hey, y'all have a good one. If you in the 8191 or basically in Missouri, Kansas, wrap the fuck up because it's cold outside. It's cold and rainy. Y'all stay safe. Beware. Apparently, tornado season came early. We had a scare like a motherfucker yesterday. Everybody be safe, be chill, and we'll holler at you when we see you.
All right, everybody. Good night.